for the others, or is this who you're covering?
This is the team that I'm covering.
Okay.
So, you know me.
Yes.
I always do. I always do. I didn't last that. If I
He is older. He was when I was in Point. He was on the radio. He was covering the Pointer National Championship teams back then when Mazzolini was the head coach. They had some squads. I grew up in Point and went to Point, so I've known Brian for a really long time. Nice guy. It's pretty cool that his daughter going on a full ride to Wisconsin, and yeah, I still keep in touch a little bit with Brian. I've been removed for about 4 years, but he's a good one. Did he? That I don't know. What's your nephew's name?
Pardon?
What's your nephew's name?
Mitch Chester.
Mitch Chester.
Defensive end.
Okay.
And his brother is
Well, it's a different light, but it's not as bright as you think. But it's a better, a better light. It's a softer, brighter light. It feels like. I guess. Well, it is down in Florida now, right? They should have thrown some palm trees up on that banner. AJ, are they coming? We're on. It's 2:45. It's not like the press is dying for them to get here either. Down the hallway. Hi guys. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Gage, how are you, man?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you. How you been?
Good, how are you?
Good. everybody. Hi, Coach. Hey, Bonner. Yeah, come on, go ahead, sit down. All right, we're pleased to be joined by North Dakota. We have head coach Brad Berry, Gage Ausmus, Bryn Chiswick, and Troy Stetcher. We'll take an opening statement from Coach Berry and then have questions for the players. Coach.
Well, first of all, we're happy to be here. We're excited to be in Tampa. We want to thank the city of Tampa Bay and the Amalie Arena for having us here. Should make out to be a great weekend with 4 really good college hockey teams and a great environment.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We'll take questions for the student athletes. Please state your name and your media affiliation prior to the question. We'll start over here to the right.
Joey Johnston from the Tampa Tribune. Gage, I want to ask you, you grew up in North Dakota. What was it like growing up following this program? And as you're part of it now, what is your relationship with the fans, between the players and the fans?
Yeah, well, obviously growing up in Grand Forks, East Grand Forks, that's all we had. There was the Fighting Sioux at the time, the University of North Dakota, and kind of looked at them like an NHL team. As that was my only team, so followed them growing up, and obviously it was one of my goals to play here eventually, and obviously being here now, it's surreal. It's an unbelievable feeling putting on that jersey every night, knowing that I watched them grow up and I watched all the players play here, and the tradition and culture that the University of North Dakota has is just unbelievable. It's amazing to play here.
And then the people out there, they're already out there and wearing the green from all over the country. I mean, what's that like? I'm sure you see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Just the relationship you have as players with those people.
Yeah, well, obviously as a team, you wanna win for yourselves and the coaches and the players. But in our locker room, we really want to win for our fans as well as along with all of us. So our fans are a huge part of our program and who we are, and sometimes they help us win games even. So they're a huge part of our program.
Additional questions. We'll take one in the back left and then the back right. Go ahead.
Alex Egan, KVOY in Fargo, North Dakota. Just for any of you guys, really, what's the focus been this week in practice, and do you like where you guys are at as you head into the game tomorrow?
Bryn, why don't you start?
Yeah, we've been excited to get down here. That week off, you just want to fly down here right after Cincinnati. We were so excited to get down here, but we got a good week of preparation. We looked at a lot of things, even from last week, that we need to improve on to be successful. So it was a good week of preparation. I know all the guys were happy to fly down here yesterday, and we're ready to get at it. So, it was a good week.
Troy, want to talk about the week as well?
Yeah, we started the season as a young team with 11 freshmen. So, as you progress through the season, you try to get those guys up to speed as fast as we can. And, I'm really confident with the group we have, and I feel like we're a mature group now, and we understand the task at hand. And, we enjoyed our victories in Cincinnati, but at the same time, we knew we had business to accomplish, and that's exactly what we did.
Okay, we'll take one in the back right.
Ted LaRue, KVRR-TV out of Fargo. Really, for anybody up there, Denver right now offensively, especially these past 2 in the NCAA tournament, scoring a lot and really hot offensively. What are you guys trying to game plan? What are you trying to do to try to slow this team down, knowing what they've done, especially the last 2 games?
Gage.
Yeah, well, obviously playing this team 5 times already. This will be our 6th. We're pretty familiar with what they have on their team and how they're going to play. It's obviously they have some skilled players on that team up front and on the back end as well. So, we just want to play our game, play a full 200-foot game, make the game hard on them, and get pucks past their defensemen and make them chip the puck in our zone instead of skating it, and just making it hard on them.
Okay, we'll take a couple of questions in front.
Melissa Prelli, U.S. College Hockey Online. Can you guys just take me through the last 24 hours, what it's been like from when you got on the plane to when you arrived? Anything special happened?
Bryn.
Yeah, we got on the plane going to Tampa here. We had a warm welcome from the folks in Tampa with a band and stuff. It was nice of them to do that, and it was great to see. Kind of checked into our hotel, had a nice meal. We went for a little team walk just on, I think it's called the River Walk there. It was cool, and we just got a little stretch in. But for the most part, we're not trying to be tourists here. I think we'll come back here and be tourists one day. But I think it's a business trip for us, and we're trying to dial in for that game. So we're just kind of hanging around the hotel, focusing on Thursday at this point.
Okay, well said. Take one right next to in front.
Paula Weston, U.S. College Hockey Online. I watched your practice. You guys seem to be enjoying yourselves. At one point, You piled on a player. I want to know who is he and what did he do?
Which one of you guys want that one? Troy, take it.
It's kind of a tradition here at North Dakota that we do a Thursday shootout for the weekend series, and at the end, when there's a winner, we all decide to dogpile them. So Luke Johnson was a lucky victim this week around with him winning. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a tradition that we have, and we're going to continue to do that.
That's why I never win shootouts, so I don't get dogpiled on.
Thanks, Gage. All right, we'll take one in the middle.
Hey guys, Greg Anchors, Midcoast Sports Network. A couple different guys could respond on this. That'd be great. There's a long history of North Dakota against Denver, even at this big of stage. You guys have met before in championships before in years past. Can you talk a little bit about just your experiences in playing against Denver and kind of how that history has impacted your time here?
Bryn, why don't you take it, and then Gage.
Yeah, absolutely. We everyone knows it's a rivalry game, right? We've played them so many times over my 4-year career here, and every time it's a great game and it's high compete level, and it's always very intense. So I expect none different tomorrow here, but we definitely respect them as a team. They got a lot of skill up front, but we also respect our ability over here, and we have a lot of confidence in what we can do, and we're just going to play our game tomorrow and take care of business.
Gage.
Yeah, it's a great rivalry between us and Denver. Obviously, one of my great memories of Denver and the University of North Dakota is at the Ralph. Denver was in town, and I don't think Coach Kwasecki liked one of the calls, and he stepped out on the ice and walked out there, and it got the fans pretty riled up. And that's just one of the many examples in our series why it's a great rivalry. And every time we play, I'm just like Bryn said here, it's a battle, and I'm sure it'll be a battle Thursday night.
Okay, we'll take one on the right.
Josephina Shaw, College Hockey News. For anyone who wants to answer it, you guys have made a few consecutive Frozen Fours. Is there anything that's changed over the years in either your experience in it or your preparation leading up to it?
Troy?
I don't think too much has honestly changed from our preparation standpoint. Obviously we got Coach Barry this year when Hacksaw left, and he's done a great job with continuing with the same philosophies and systems. We changed a bit of our back check system, but we go through the same day, the same way every single day. We try to be professionals here at this university, and we try to act like good citizens in the community. So I think if you do that, you're going to have good karma on your side, and you're going to have good results.
Okay. Additional questions? We'll take one in the back left.
Mike McCann with KVRR. Gage, third Frozen Four for you guys. Obviously, it's another different arena, obviously, with a different location. What did you guys think of the ice out there? How big of a role does that play?
Yeah, it's the ice was I thought pretty good for the most part. Obviously, with a lot of teams, 4 teams skating on it in a day, it's going to get a little chipped up and stuff like that. But it definitely plays a factor into the game. But at the same time, the other team plays on it too, so it's it's pretty fair that way.
Okay. Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, guys, thanks a lot. The locker room will be open for another 20 minutes. And at this time, we'll take questions for Coach Barry. Once again, raise your hand and state your name and media affiliation, and we'll get your question called on and answered. Paula, go ahead in front.
Paula Weston, U.S. College Hockey Online. How loose is this team? I mean, they seemed really loose in practice. I don't mean unfocused, but I mean, how relaxed are they coming into this Frozen Four?
Well, I think there's a balance, and that's a great question. This is a very special group. We've said it all year long. The 3 guys that are to the right of me and a bunch of the juniors and seniors in that locker room, we've been here before. We've experienced a little disappointment in the last couple of years in Philadelphia and in Boston. They're hungry, they're focused, they're committed, they're dialed in right away. But at the same time, there's a little bit of levity there as far as being a human being too and enjoying it. So again, we're all about that. And again, tomorrow is game day, and they'll be ready to go.
Okay, take one back left, and then we'll go in the middle with Bob.
Alex Egan, KVLY in Fargo. Coach, I saw you testing out the glass and the boards there a little bit. Whenever you come to a new arena, is that something you do? And what did you think of how the glass and the boards were playing for you?
Well, to answer the first part of the question, absolutely. Whenever you go to a venue that we haven't played in, generally the coaches and the players too, we test out the boards for the bounces and the glass to see if there's any different hops coming off it. And again, this is an NHL facility. It's a first-class world organization, or a facility, I should say. And again, it's state of the art. So it's a perfect arena to have a Frozen Four in. And again, we were just making sure that we're comfortable in that environment.
Take one in the middle, Bob.
Brad, Bob Snow, NHL.com and BruinsDaily.com. Those of us who kind of don't see as much of you because we're on the East Coast get the perception that you guys always played with that snarl, but sometimes that snarl gets you in a little bit of a trouble with regard to penalties and sort. Can you talk about the fine line between maintaining that style and staying out of the penalty box?
That's another great question. We are made up of you could call it a blue-collar mentality. We take our lunch boxes and we go to work every day, and it's all about the work and the humility and getting after it. In saying that, we want to be aggressive on the ice, but we do talk about discipline. As you can see I thought we did a really good job in Cincinnati and even in the Frozen Face-Off of limiting our penalties, and that's playing hard, but playing with discipline, and that's a big word we use every day in our locker room about playing with tenacity, but playing discipline. And again, it's going to be an important factor this weekend going forward because, again, 4 great teams here. They have great power plays, and again, you can't get caught up on being in the penalty box all the time. So again, we talk about it, and I think our guys have done a great job over the last couple weekends of it.
Take one in the middle, right.
Josh Vinashaw, College Hockey News. Obviously, the team overall has a lot of Frozen Four experience, but a couple of your most impactful players are freshmen. How have you seen, I guess, maybe the upperclassmen kind of help them get through this, and what have you seen from them in terms of them dealing with the experience?
Well, you look at the Brock Bessers and the younger players that are having success in our group, and it's by no coincidence. First of all, those are very good players. They're very gifted and talented. But those 3 gentlemen to my right and a lot of the leaders in the locker room have been a big part of his development. And the biggest thing that we notice, and again, we call it a special group. We've talked about it through the mid part of the year when we went through all the injury problems and we were going into a third-string walk-on being our number 1 goalie and reeling off 9 wins in a row. It's that special bond, that team-first mentality that, the next man up has to do the job, and it's because of the leadership. So, again, they've been a big part of not only us staying on the rails this year, but also for the development of our 11 freshmen.
Okay, we'll take one in the back left.
Mike McCann with KVRR. Coach, Cam Johnson's passed every test that you've given him that he's faced this season. Where's his play right now? How confident are you that he can perform come tomorrow night?
100% confident. He's been on a stage before like this, albeit in the USHL. He's gone to the finals in the Clark Cup finals in the USHL, and he was the go-to guy. And again, he's played in high pressure situations before. It'll be no different from him. We play in the Ralph, which we get 12,000 a night, and those NCHC games they're wars. They're battles every single night against any one of the 7 opponents we have in that league. He's been in front of that all the time. So again, he's well versed in it, and he'll do just fine.
Yeah, we'll take one on the right.
Yeah, Matt's probably not going to play this weekend here, but how much?
Hold on 1 second, sir. Can you name and affiliation,
Tom
please?
Miller, Grand Forks Herald. Sorry.
No problem.
Your third-string goalie taking you through the first 10 games or so. How important was he to where you are now?
100%. Just like I said, when you go through a season, you always think that you'll have a few nicks and bruises and some injuries here and there, short-term injuries. Well, both our scholarship goaltenders were on long-term injury, which resulted in Matt Harinkyu having to come in and play. Well, you know what? He did an unbelievable job for us. The guys rallied around him, and he reeled off 9 wins, and you don't see that every single day. But it goes to a couple different things. First of all, his character on coming to work every single day his first 2 years at North Dakota, knowing that he's probably not going to get an opportunity right away and just battle his tail off. And then obviously Carl Gehring, our volunteer goalie coach, doing an unbelievable job with not only Matt, but Cam and Matej Tomac and Ryan Anderson. So, again, like I said, very fortunate to have a great staff around us to help those guys.
Take one in the back right.
Ted LaRue, KVRR TV. Coach, what would you say is Denver's biggest strength?
Very, very dangerous team off the rush and in the offensive zone. Like these guys alluded to earlier, they're very good offensively, and not just their forwards, their D help out in the offense too. So again, they can attack at all different times, and again, we got to make sure that we play the right way. Again, we know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. But the biggest thing is we got to be aware of when they're on their ice and what they're doing. But we got to accentuate what we have to do and what got us here. So again, we got to play our game, just like these guys said.
Additional questions for Coach Barry? All right, Bob.
There's got to be some, BobStoneNHL.com, Bruins Daily. There's got to be some great irony in the fact that Hackstall is driving his Flyers into potential playoff position. You guys are taking this team to the Frozen Four. Can you talk about maybe the kind of the karma and the relationship and maybe what Dave imparted to you the last couple of days?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, first of all, we communicate all the time, you know, and it's not all about hockey all the time. It's about families and different things. So, but, you know, he's been a big part of this, our foundation and our group going forward here. He laid he was a big impact on, the 11 years he was here as a head coach, and he's done a great job, and it's no surprise he's doing that in Philadelphia. The other thing, too, is we brought along Gino Gasparini and his wife Tootsie on the trip. That he won that 3 national championships with North Dakota, and he also is a huge, huge part of North Dakota tradition and history and success and laying the blocks of the foundation on what we are. And again, it's great to have him with us.
Okay. All right, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
About 15 minutes left for North Dakota Open Locker Room. We'll be joined by Denver at 4 o'clock. Got it, Bobby. I asked the guys, that's the first thing, I'm like, how's the glare on my head?
There's no glare, it's good.
Why not?